So folks, Glenda Needs here, art therapist. I have just had an interesting session with the supervisee, and we were talking about ways to introduce the Expressive Therapies Continuum to clients. And I just gave a little explanation about one of the things I might say, and she said, "You need to record that. Lots of people will find this helpful." So here I am, just jumping in now after a big day, just to do a quick recording. So sometimes it's helpful to explain why you might be taking a particular approach with a client in regards to materials. And I will often say to a client, look, over the next few weeks, we're going to do something a little bit different here. And this is because really when we're trying to sort challenges out in our life, we have to be extremely creative problem solvers. People who invent things, people who do brilliant work, they have to be incredibly creative to find different solutions for the things they might get stuck on. So, in order to help you deal with what's going on here, I think it might be helpful if we look to the ways in which people who are so good at being creative and so good at resolving their problems manage to recruit lots of parts of their brain to make it happen. So, here's the thing. If you've got, let's say, a violinist who is an excellent violinist, really good, writes music, does all sorts of beautiful stuff, but they are super top of their game, really creative, do it really well. The thing is that they work across all those areas on this thing called the ETC, which is that, when they are playing, they're conscious of their body moving in space and the way it relates to the instrument they're using. And it's almost like their body and the instrument becomes the one item. That's the kinesthetic area. What happens next is we might see that, they're feeling the vibration in their fingers and down the bow, and they're moving it up and down, and they are really tuned into, this is how my fingers feel when I hit the right note, when it just works perfectly for me. So they are using their sensory experience to also determine whether or not they're getting it quite as they want. And then if we jump up again, we can think about the emotion that a person feels. When someone is creating a beautiful piece of music, we often say we can, feel it. And I think the creator allows the feelings in their body to influence the shape, the way the music forms. And that's actually that affective level on the ETC. We move across the other side to the perceptive level. Well, of course, here a musician, the violinist, is thinking really deeply about whether or not they've got the timing exactly right, whether the note is, dead set in the right spot, whether the overall length of the piece is going to work to fit some particular parameter. So they are thinking about it in terms of much more logical ways, but really what they're doing is they're watching the balance and the art form itself. Of course, then you can get to the symbolic realm. And maybe this is a song about a sailor who fell in love with a mermaid. And indeed, the song then, the thoughts are for the creator and the person who's playing this instrument, is that I have to really embrace the sort of rolling waves, because I want the music to appear as and to represent and to speak of rolling waves. And therefore the sound, there will be this crescendo, and then it will move down into some silence and move back up again, and we'll create these rolling waves. And then of course we get the cognitive realm, where I think this is fairly obvious, where there's lots of thinking about the quality of the piece of material in terms of the logical parameters and what's taught about music, and whether things are tuned and so on. So there you go, just a quick example. Because then I go on and I say to the client, so what happens is that a really brilliant violinist is actually recruiting all these different ways of understanding how to make this piece of music really work and to really understand it and really bring it together. And so in supporting you with the challenges you're facing now, it's probably going to be really good for us to switch on all those parts of your creativity, of your brain, of your resources and problem solving. And if we can switch all of those on, I think we've got a better chance of you being able to find what you need to be able to work through and have this therapy successful for you. So there you go. Glenda Needs, Art Therapist. Quick little, probably not entirely accurate ETC, but a great explainer for clients. And it might help you too. Bye.